The title of today's video is How Motorcycle Sales in the U.S. and Global Sales are doing in the first 3 quarters of 2022. Previously, I did two videos on motorcycle inventories in my area, specifically on street bikes. Because I saw some disconnects between brands and the street bike inventories, I decided to dig a little deeper. So I went online to motorcyclesdata.com, and they have data through the October 30th of 2022, which ends the third quarter. They said that they expected the fourth quarter of 2022 to expect that to follow the trends of the first 3 quarters. I'm going to do the U.S. portion in sales, and I'm going to do the global portions on new registrations. And that's because some manufacturers report vehicle sales when they are invoiced to the dealers, whereas new vehicle registration is probably a more accurate way of doing it. I'm going to do the video in kind of 2 parts. The first part, because I just want to see if any differences pop out or any reasoning of why the brands are so different. In part 1, I'm going to do the motorcycle sales of the U.S. through October 30th, 2022. In part 2, I'm going to pick out the 12 major brands and break them down on their vehicle registrations over that same period. I will include MV Agusta and maybe Augusta for 2021 and Aprilia for 2020. I'm going to put them in a separate category because they don't have the comparable data for the same period of 2022. So we're going to start with the sales of motorcycles in the United States. First 3 quarters of sales in the United States, it's down 5.6% for 2022. There was a little bit of information in there about the sales. The sales right now as of third quarter is 384,997,000 new motorcycles, which is down, and it's projected to be less than 500,000 motorcycles for the year. It says during the COVID-19, there was a big demand initially for off-road bikes. Then in 2020 and 2021, it picked up for all types of bikes to the highest level it had been in 15 years. It really continued in 2022 for the first quarter. But in the second quarter, where the prices jumped up because of shipping and inflation and whatever have you, the sales started to decline. So by the third quarter, we're actually down 5.6%. What was important to note was on the market for pre-COVID-19, prior to 2019, sales of motorcycles in the United States had already been steadily declining. In a top-level view of the winners and losers so far in 2022, the losers would have to be Harley-Davidson. They're down 17.8%. It's forecast that BMW, Indy, and KTM and Triumph have picked up part of their market. Surprisingly, it shows that Honda was down 13.2%. That may be due to the low inventory. Yamaha is down 11.6%. And one thing they really couldn't explain is how Kawasaki was up 75%. I did see some notes about children's bikes and off-road bikes being a huge part of that. So normally I would think, whatever sales are kind of going on in the United States, they would be similar on a global level. So are there any difference between the U.S. and the global market? I got on this map, I got the 12 or 13 brands out there and new global registrations by brand. Remember, this is registrations, new bike vehicle registrations. We're just going to take a quick look at this on the 12 major brands. You see Royal Enfield is at the top. They went up from last year to this year 33%. Honda globally went up 12.5%. Suzuki went up 8.5%. Triumph was 5.6%. Indian was 4.3%. Moto Guzzi was 3.7%. And Yamaha was 3.4%. So who were the losers? Ducati. I guess let them eat cake. Ducati is down 2.8%. KTM down 5.6%. BMW down 6.8%. Harley-Davidson down globally 14.7%, as well as they were down in the United States. And here's the big flip-flop here. Kawasaki was down 22.3%. There's limited information out there explaining all those numbers, and perhaps there'll be a little bit more information at the end of 2022, so I might be able to do another video. But, you know, something like Kawasaki, they were down 25% from 2019 to 2020. Then they didn't, in 2021, when the demand was up for the COVID period in 2020, they went flat because they couldn't meet the demand. So now they're down, you know, struggling and down in all countries, largely in Europe, China, and the Pacific. They're only up in like Japan, South Korea, and Latin America, and some North America. Now, before I end this video, I'm going to put up, I have something for MV Agusta. They were down, they were up 6.6% in 2021. I don't have any 2022 numbers for them. And Aprilia was down 37% in 2020. And I do not have any numbers for them in 2021 or 2022. I don't know. Hopefully this video can give you a little bit better understanding of what's going on. I don't really know why the numbers are like they are. We can only theorize that, you know, this COVID and demand and supply, you know, channel has affected these things. But I just thought I'd share this with you. It's kind of things I think about sometimes. Thanks for watching. Join me and my friends at Flat Cap Cafe Racer for riding and racing. Please subscribe.